Hello and welcome back to Amnesia Dark Descent. This was likely to be the second to last episode in the Let's Play, pretty near the end of the game, up to the last hub area. And so, let's get the show on the road. Big debate is whether I'm going to leave the scariest level, the scariest section of the game, for this episode or next episode. Have to decide. See how I do for time. Set a little stopwatch going so I can see how much the game time is. So this is the last hub level of the game. It's quite a big hub level. Lots of ways to go. And there's plenty of goodies around. And I'll be lighting lots of torches because I've got no reason why not to. Interesting point, this hub level is called the Nave. All the sections in this game, from here on, or all the levels from this point here on, are actually parts of the cathedrals. That's the way down. There's one more room I want to check out here first. The music's a lot more sinister because we're back near the end of the game.
August 1839. I can't stop sweating and shaking. The warding ritual was not something of a sane mind. I did not even realize the dungeon was still in use. Alexander had his servants bring one of the prisoners, a murderer, he told me. Alexander made all the arrangements, but he said I had to perform the ritual in order to have the right effect. The shadow could be led astray by the blood of another. Killing the man would provide us precious time. What else could I do? Alexander said it had to be done. He is saving my life. I don't have the luxury of argument.
Getting more sinister. That's my lantern. I will come back for that. Way. Look in there, yep. And there's one door over here. That door I think will open up later on. Again, I've got no reason not to light all these. I've got reason to spare to save my lantern oil though. I will need that. Stop giving me more tinder boxes, got enough. To be fair, I can stop picking them up, but you know, I don't want to be wasteful. The game wants to be wasteful. Oh dear.
Piper. I need you to stay awake. Can you feel the syringe?
No, I can't feel anything. Alexander,
Yes.
soon I won't even be able to move, will I?
Your life is safe.
I don't doubt that. But will it be worth living?
Ah, bright light. So, that little flashback's told you anything? About to bump into someone. Maybe that guy there.
Help me. Who's this switch? Thank you. You have my gratitude. My name is Agrippa. Who might you be? Daniel? Like the prophet thrown into the lion's den? Tell me, are you among the lions, Daniel? You want to stop Alexander? Oh my, so Babylon shall fall, you say? You worry too much. Alexander is toothless without an all. He has one. That's not very promising at all. The sectum is basically impenetrable, but guess why more? It could be breached by another, but Alexander broke his, my own, a long time ago. Really? Then if you tell the truth, by all means, seek out the pieces of the broken all and mend away. I believe he uses them for torture now. They practically leak madness, which is quite useful, I understand. There should be 6 of them. Look around the choir and the transept. You should be able to find them there.
And guess what?
Dad, I hate to bother you further, but if you're really going after Alexander, would you consider taking me with you? I know it sounds ridiculous. Look at me. But if you find anything concerning a man named Johann Weyer, would you please bring it to me? I believe he was working on a way to help him. A recipe for some sort of potion, a tonic to free me from this husk of mine.
Okay, now that part is if you want to do the good ending. We're going to do that anyway. And I'm going to...
What level? Oh, that one. So many of Alexander's things are breaking down. Look around. Maybe the other room. There are machine parts all over this place. You'll find a way to fix it. Gumi, I'm Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. I was once quite important to you. Baron Alexander has sustained my soul in this dead husk for years. Who knows how many? Hundreds, I presume. Alexander is quite impressive in many ways, but he has grown impatient. By me? I'm the next best thing. Alexander really wanted none other than Johann Weyer. You've never heard of Johann Weyer? My God, boy. He's probably the greatest man in history, and you don't know him? Or is it the road has forgotten?
Oh, fixed. Right.
Weyer was my pupil. My pupil. Yes, I do take pride in that. Is it so wrong?
No, it's fine, mate. So this will open up the doors to the areas we're going to go explore. Chancel, Transept, and Choir. And that's in order of Well, no, it's not in order of most scariest, but nearly. The Quiet is the most scariest. There are 6 brute monsters you can possibly run into in there. Not very nice. Check. The grip of the dying man seeks a note written by a man named Johann Weyer. An orb is making entered in the Saturn. The shattered pieces can be scattered in the torture rooms.
Daniel, you have gone too far. I have to stop you. I can't let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
Was there something else? You got the doors open? Good going. I knew you could do it.
So, I think this is transept this way. This is cells and chancel. Yes, that meat's needed.
I know this. I've been here already. I know this taste. The taste of Damascus rose obfuscating the truth in a dim haze. They may sweep the traces from my memory, but my body remembers. Cuts speak volumes, even though my mind remains silent. They will be back. They will be back.
Ah, chancel.
little further.
It's like Orpheus descending into the underworld.
Are you hiding something?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Your intuition is remarkable.
I'm not sure I'm following.
It doesn't matter. It's just a myth after all.
Where is that monster? Oh, there is. Okay, well, it can't follow me into the hub area, so...
These cells are meant to hold prisoners who are under treatment. The people you send for will end up here. Remember that the confinement itself works as a preamble to the torture, and you should pace yourself. Don't take anyone before they are ready.
Understood.
Sounds from the torture chambers are shuttled in through those pipes in the ceiling. Manage your victims well, and let one prisoner's pain instill terror in his cellmate.
Monsters would have despawned. If you open all these, you might get some sort of effect. I believe if you open all of them, they will all slam shut. I'll try and replicate it. No promises. Let's see if it happens. Okay, never mind. Ooh, ow. Ooh. That was dumb. That's what I get for being lazy. Right, back to the chancel. Friend should have gone by now, but I'm gonna be cautious nonetheless.
Maybe he knows.
He says as he sprints. two places to go. The third place we can't get to yet. Well, we can go across it, but we can't get there.
12th of August, 1839. Banishment ritual is taking longer than expected, and we have to do what is needed. I spend my time helping out the prisoners. Being around these degenerates makes me ill. None of them even tries to face their punishment with any kind of dignity. They taunt me with their lies of innocence and their cowardly pleas of mercy. What can make a man fall so far from the grace of a civilized existence?
You tell me.
They are all wicked men, and I remind myself of it constantly. Still, I am thankful for God sending these monsters our way, as they will serve as the instruments of my salvation. I try to study the different tools in the torture chamber and learn how to use them effectively. Last time was messy, and the effect suffered from my inexperience. When the next warding is to be performed, I shall be ready.
Casually discussing torture of people as if it's nothing. Oh. I need oil. Where the inner sanctum is, but we can't get through there. Okay. One more place to go. I'll see if I can recreate that cell thing. And then we'll do the transept. Shattered ore. All is lost. I must once again start over. Ever since I recovered the orb first found by Agrippa, I have depended on it for my research. The incident with Wilhelm made me most impetuous. Being a paucity of prisoners, I proceeded with the final ritual without proper foresight. The orb cracked and fell into 6 parts. I've tried everything, but I've as of yet been able to mend the thing. Unless I can think of a way to piece it together, I will have to find another. And there is still life in the pieces, and even if the orb isn't restored, it might be useful to salvage some of its power for some other purposes. Centuries have passed in vain, and I begin to wonder if I will ever be able to see my love again. How much longer can I sustain my life? Don't need more tinderboxes, need more oil. Big as devil. Oh,
sent me that letter asking for help, and this is how you repay me? How dare you!
I believe that's the door that leads to the system. Possibly. So we've done what we can in the chancel for now. We now have other things to do. Might have time to do the choir. Right. Okay, I'm gonna try one last time with the prison cells. Basically, all the lights are supposed to go out and the door slams shut violently. Alright, chancel done. So.
Ah, you again. I found a Mithraeus box. One which had not been plundered. Do you know Mithraeus? I suppose it doesn't matter. It is an old faith, building temples out of caverns. The dark walls being the... Ah, you again. Not many orbs are left. They sometimes consume themselves, or break, then used by an uninitiated. I was lucky. The orb I found spared my life and returned to where I found it. I know because Alexander took it and brought it to Brandenburg.
Does that sound familiar? Should do. It's our friend. Here, Mr. Koenig. Have a rock. He's hungry. He wants to be fed. That mucus we need as part of this potion. Don't fall down the well. Stay. Good boy. Transept, good. Did fit the right way.
How much more, Baron? How much more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me already! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
Eeny, oh sorry, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one, good. kidnapper sat on her knees with her hands tied behind her back. She felt her hands being lifted with her body, and her body followed. Her shoulders gave away to the weight of her own body and cracked loudly. The suspended women cried hysterically as the men contemplated their next step. That is Strapado. I believe it's called Strapado, something along those lines. It is a form of torture that's... Oh yeah, the game devs in one of their commentary nodes, which I haven't got enabled, but all the new forms of torture are real forms of torture. This was used and is sometimes still used.
Find her!
See the corpses in the cages, which weren't there beforehand? Ah. Sight's nice. I need to get something first before I can do this one. Oh no, no worries. This is what I like about Amnesia. It's not about jump scares, it's about psychological horror. The rapist hanged upside down, his tears soiled with his blood flowing from his own belly. The sore between his legs had lodged itself in the hip and wouldn't move any further. The men stepped back and waited for the victim to drain. Now. Yeah. Is there a saw around here? No? Okay, no mind. If Daniel's sanity drops too much, he will literally collapse. Oh yeah, I'm going to be a bit more conservative with the tinder boxes now, because I might need those.
The cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man! How can you partake in this?
Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man. It was an accident.
He set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault. Why won't anyone listen?
That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
Takes a monster to know a monster.
No, please. Do anything. Whatever you want. Anything. Do anything. I'm innocent.
The arsonist kept crying as he was slowly lowered onto the impaler. It didn't take too much to break him. They hadn't meant for him to die. The torture was working beyond their expectations. It wasn't the method, it was the arsonist. He was different from the others. They can make him forget again. Damn it. I kind of hoped his sanity would be low so I can show you something. Wonder if I can... I wonder. Nah, I can't recreate it. Oh well, never mind. I've kind of done this a bit out of order, I apologise. If your sanity is low and you look at a picture of Alexander, his face becomes distorted. I would have loved to have shown you that, but I've kind of pulled up the order of this. Notes on torture. There are quite a few things to be said about torture. I figured the reaction I would get from the victim would be highly individual. Thankfully, it's not the case. The humans all have a very similar approach to dealing with physical pain and terror of anticipation. I cannot stress enough the importance of restraining the victims before proceeding. Even the most timid creature can break out in fits of violence when the strength exceeds their expected powerless. In proper care, this has been put into breaking the victim. This should not be a problem, but it also hindered the effect I'm after. The right steps are taken, therefore, to restrain while the victim is still dazed, proceeding by presenting the form of torture you apply to them, and then continue with the actual act. The point of presentation is to infuse terror. The human mind is extremely efficient and will trigger itself a far greater fear simply by imagining it. While applying pain, make sure to avoid massive damage, as it will prove to be more efficient in the process can be sustained. Also, apply the pain in doses, if possible with breaks to let the body settle. If you're whipping or cutting the victim, strike once, wait for the pain to subdue, then strike again. As long as the body suffers, it will continue to produce the vitae and saturate the blood with its properties. Only with careful performance will the victim yield maximum effect. If the victim doesn't behave as expected, it is likely that all will be for naught. Before this happens, feed them amnesia drink and try again later. And there we have it. Clinically put, notes on torture. It is you, my love, I miss the most. Or is it perhaps myself? I know what I might have become. I'm not blind. I'm a monster to them. A demonic sultan perched on a dark mountaintop. There's little I can do to redeem myself. The Black Eagle fears me, and after Napoleon's defeat, it is only a matter of time before they will demand my head on a platter. I must remove myself from this land. This time it must work. If I can't return home now, I shall perish. More oil, which is good. I'm also going to use the yeah, I kind of brought it up. I will see if I can diminish your sanity enough that I get the effect to show. Source this way, I think. Oh, that's Trapado. Okay, wrong way. I get forgetful. The pedal's the last one. What's this one? Oh, that's Judas chair. Memory guy, memory. Bear in mind, I've only done this once, and it was about a year ago. Ah, saw. This way. Ah, well. No joy. Yeah, bodies are now gone because sanity's back to normal. So I'm going to get to show the Alexander portrait. Okay.
Ah, you again. You still have found all the ore pieces used in the transfer. Go to the choir and find the rest.
First of all, I want to refill the lantern. That room will open later. There we are.
Dad, good to see you. Vi was a brave man and dared to pursue the I did not. He unearthed a number of Calvin temples and gathered a whole collection of orbs. But unlike every other finder since the fall of the Israel, he was able to unshackle the horror you and I connected.
Right.
How are things coming? Me, how? Not so bad.
quite a few of these. I'm not gonna go all the way into the choir. I'm gonna stop short because there's something I want to show you first. And we'll end the set there. In court, the Order of the Black Eagles spew their politics at each other while I quietly sit in place, willfully forgotten. Once in a while, people will notice me and lose themselves in a slight cower before regaining their senses. They all know I am the one and the same Alexander who helped their fathers and grandfathers to found this great order. I've seen them take their fathers' places, and they too will grow old and pass away, while I remain the same, aged not by time, but by anguish. This game's determined not to let me get from my tinderbox collection, isn't it? Why taunts me from the other side. I trusted him with my true reason for my efforts, and still he insists on me releasing Agrippa. How an enlightened man can show such lack of compassion in a seat of power disgusts me. I can't bring myself to part from Agrippa as he is, and has been for many centuries my only link to the worlds beyond. Via claims that it's best to release me from my banishment, but he needs me to give him Agrippa first, so he too can help. If he could guarantee success, I would happily oblige. But how am I to part from him if my return might be denied? I know what they're capable of. I have seen their deception. Optimism is the most hopeless feeling, but I must retain it. I shall prepare for his release. To release Agrippa without killing him, Via told me to feed him a tonic made from a paralyzer, vitae, and tamta. The poisonous fungi should work as a paralyzer. If I can find the internal gland from a large specimen, the choir seems to be a fertile ground for this sort. I should then be able to extract its contents with the proper tools. The vitae should be extracted usually from any agonized human victim's blood, which I have got. I've just need large amounts to distill it properly. Remember to collect this during the next torture session. Tamta, on the other hand, will prove more difficult. I don't think it exists in the world. Simply writing the word with these letters looks wrong. I believe it's a property of a secretion in the water-dwelling kennic, that's the water lurker, which I've got from the saliva. I'll have to address via with this, as you have to supply me with a host, although also a properly prepared world should suffice to contain it. So, that explains what I've been up to. So, need to make the potion choir, and it's need some free ingredients. I've got 2 of them. The third one's in the choir. Which I'm about to go to next. And I have to say, I'm not looking forward to this. There's 2 parts of the choir, the entrance and the main hall, and I'm going to stop just shy of the main hall, and then the set there. Next set is going to be fun. I think there's 2 rooms I need, and one room has... Alright, both rooms are the same. Daniel? Yeah, if you touch either one of those, it'll get the cutscene. But I'm going to do the one in this room.
15th of August, 1839. The blood wards are failing. The shadow beckons, and its cry disarms my actions. Hurry. No time to spare. You have to kill another. Alexander produces a knife. He wants me to cut the flesh. Do it. Save yourself. He is a murderer, Daniel. He is evil. A cold-blooded killer. Hurry. Alexander, you must let me be. I have to concentrate. Paint the man, cut the lines, cut the flesh, watch the blood spill, let it come. Please, I didn't do anything. Paint the man, cut the lines, paint the man, cut the lines. Please, the man cries. Now you see. I did well. One life for another. You hear me, guardian of the orb? I did all this for you. Now, once more, withdraw your shadow from my domain. Alexander, there isn't much time. I can feel it. We must act swiftly. I will do whatever it takes.
Hey, now it's getting seriously sinister and messed up. So this is it, the choir. 3 all pieces, 3 torture devices, and 6 brutes await me. And you'll have to wait for the next set to indulge in it. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.